Alright, what's going on, guys? Here we are looking at my favorite semi-automatic 9mm handgun. This is the Sig Sauer P226 MK25. Great reputation. The P226 has an amazing history, and there's a lot to talk about with this pistol. You know, for a long time, the only handgun in 9mm that I really had experience with was the Beretta 92FS, or the M9, pretty much the same thing, same platform. And then I was introduced to this P226 after I purchased it, and before this I had a P220, so the platform, I was familiar with it, but that was in a 45 ACP. And now that I have the P226 in 9mm, I can honestly say that from my experience, this is probably the best option to go with for a 9mm handgun in a full-size pistol. Okay. Now, the MK25, which is this one, is a little bit different than your regular 226 offered by Sig. The MK25, if you notice the rail on the frame, this is a 1913 Picatinny rail, okay? On the standard P226, it just has a standard Sig accessory rail, and it is a little bit different, okay? On the MK25, you got phosphate coated internals, which is very nice. You have Sig Light night sights, and the first time I ever saw them in the dark, I was very impressed. They glow very bright, and it's a nice thing to have. On this side of the pistol, cosmetic features, you have a navy anchor and you have a UID sticker or a barcode label. Those two things don't really make the gun special, but it's kind of cool. And also on the MK25, the extractor, if you notice, this is the standard length extractor. From what I've seen on the newer P226, the regular P226, the extractor comes back to about right here. And I'm not really saying there's anything wrong with it, but this extractor length has been around ever since Sig has had an external extractor, so it has a better history of it. So I feel more comfortable with it. And also this pin right here, yeah, in the serrations. On the MK25, it's a hollow pin. On the regular 226, it's a solid pin. So if you get it wet, there's a chance that you could trap water in the slide. Okay. Chrome line barrel. I'm sure the standard P226 also has that. We have serrations on the face of the trigger guard and serrations on the front strap of the grip. Standard Sig grips, nice texturing. Double single action, just like you'd expect. Okay. Very comfortable pistol in the hand. The recoil is very manageable, and it's a very smooth recoiling pistol, and I was very impressed with the first time that I shot it. Okay. It came with 3 15-round magazines made by Mekgar in Italy, and they work perfectly fine. And I also picked up 3 18-round magazines, also made in Mekgar from Italy, and they work perfectly fine as well. So I have 6 mags total, 3 18-rounders and 3 15-rounders. And I got this Blackhawk holster for my plate carrier, and I've had a request. Somebody wants to see the gun in the holster on my plate carrier with me wearing it. I will make a video on that. I just haven't got around to it yet. But we'll safety check the pistol real quick. Alright, we're clear. There's inside there. And this gun's dirty. I haven't really cleaned it after I shot it. But there's the barrel. Nice rail, nice and greased. Alright. Very minimal wear on the barrel. And decocker works really nice as well. So here's the pistol. Snaps in nicely. Nice, solid fit. Here's my connection system I use. I like it a lot, and really easy to draw. This is pretty much my primary handgun for like a duty pistol or whatever. I really trust it. I haven't had any issues with it. Very reliable, very accurate. I do have to get used to the double single action transition. I'm not quite used to that. And even though I've had a Sig P220 in the past, I never really trained with it much. It was just a gun I took out every now and then to target shoot with. But I really need to practice on the double single action. And in single action, it's a very nice pull, but in double action, the trigger pull is kind of stiff. They say it's about 10 pounds. I have to get used to that as well. Okay. The ammunition I use, American Eagle, full metal jacket. I like the 124 grain. I shoot 115s at the range, but I prefer the 124. Okay. I like to shoot brass ammunition, just a standard 9mm. They work pretty good. And here's my target. This is from the first time that I ever fired it. Now, take into consideration, I was not going for, perfection accuracy. I was just shooting it, pretty fast. Now, as you can see, my group is low to the left. This is my main group right here. I just have to get used to the trigger a little bit, but in a general area, for how fast I was shooting it, I would say that I did pretty good. And this was on December 2nd, 2013. Here I was using 115 grain, 9mm, American Eagle, full metal jacket. Okay, so it's a really accurate pistol. The 18 round magazines have a base plate. Alright, so that's what it looks like there. Now the frame is a black anodized finish. It seems pretty durable. I'm not experiencing any wear yet. And the slide, I'm not exactly sure what finish is on the slide. I forget, I've heard of it before, but I can't remember it right now. Okay, and I'll show you the internals real quick. You can see the rails on the frame are very long. They're not really technically considered full length rails. On my P220 that I used to have, if you can see how there's a gap right here, on the P220 the rail was the full length of the frame on both sides, but on the P226 you can see there's a gap in between the front and the back of the rail. Okay, and like I said, I have not cleaned this since the last time I shot it. So that's pretty much the frame. There's no wear on the rails. I have them nicely greased. Okay. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the decocker is a slightly different color than the slide release, and the takedown lever has the phosphate coated internals. And here's the slide. You can see the spring has orange paint right there. Really nice recoil spring. It's braided steel. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's it looks like two pieces of wire braided together to make one recoil spring. That creates a better memory, and it makes the spring last a lot longer. Okay, so that's very nice. And here we have the barrel and the slide. It's not very dirty, but it is a little bit dirty. There's the inside right there. Apparently it's phosphate coated inside. And the barrel, the coating on the barrel kind of has like a rough feel to it. I'm assuming it's phosphate coated, I'd imagine. Right there it says 9mm para Sig. Okay. Chrome lined. Very nice barrel. Yeah, I have to say, you know, with Sig pistols, the quality really is top notch. You know, I love the Beretta M9. And there's a few other 9mm pistols I like. The Glock 17. I've never shot a Glock 17, but I have a Glock 22, which is pretty much the same platform as the Glock 17. And even though it's a 40 caliber weapon, the recoil is going to be a little bit different. But for a platform in a 9mm, I'd have to say the Sig Sauer P226 is one of the best options. Okay, the grip is not very wide. I would say it's a little bit slimmer than the Beretta M9. You know, that's how it feels to me anyway. I might be wrong. I haven't measured it, but it seems to be a little bit more slim than the M9. It's just a very natural gun to have in the hand. You know, you got your decocker, you got your slide release. Okay, double single action. It's very safe to carry this pistol with one in the chamber. Really recommend it. Now these guns are pretty expensive. The 226 MK25 on average runs about $1,000, $900 to $1,000. But I got this one for $799, and with shipping, insurance, and the transfer to my gun shop and everything, the total price came to about $845. Okay, so if you can find a deal on one of these things, I highly recommend it. If you don't mind spending $1,000 on it, you know, if that's the only price you can find it for, and you don't mind putting $1,000 out for it, you're really not going to go wrong with it. It's just an awesome pistol. Okay, and I'm going to be having a lot more range time with this thing. Technically, it's not really broken in yet. Right now I have maybe, I'd say about 120 rounds through it. Okay, and even though I don't have as much experience with the P226 as a lot of other people, I really have to say so far I'm very impressed with it, and I would pick this over the Beretta M9 any day. As much as I love the M9, the P226, I couldn't deny it. Okay, so there it is, P226. Get one. You really won't be sorry. It's a great handgun to have. Alright. Take care.